Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. Wow, it's so much fun to be here, and it's so much fun to be able to bring new music to you week by week by week. And the music that I'm bringing to you, in my opinion, is some of the best in the area. I really work hard to search out new and different and fun things to bring into your living room each Saturday night. I had an interesting conversation with one of you the other day, and I'm going to try your suggestion. So we're going to see how that works. If any of you do have any suggestions, you can go on to Facebook to Grandma's Attic Music Review and just say whatever you want to me. I would be happy. Don't put it in a message. Just put it flat out on the page. I'd be happy to see what you have to say about Grandma's Attic. It's your show, and the music is all for you. Today we have what you would call a luthier, which is a guitar builder, and he's also a fabulous musician. I guess I found him on Facebook, but I've had him on my radio show, and I wanted to talk to him on my radio show about his guitar building. And we ended up hearing his music, and I think that the music he's going to play for you today will give you a relaxing next half hour, 40 minutes. He's really wonderful. Please help me welcome to your living room, W Wasylik.
do another one before we start?
No, keep going. You're
Keep
gonna
going?
do your 35 minutes now, and then you'll come talk to me.
Cool.
Ooh, ooh. Your whole audience is loving every minute of this, so.
think. Should I do one more? Or
Sure,
do
that
one?
sounds great. Oh my. So while JW is coming over, I just want to remind you all that it's really important for us to shop local and keep our economy here. If we spend our money here with local merchants, that money stays in our community. You can come right on over. Just boop right over and have a seat. You're in my living room. It's a nice place to be. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. I love your music.
Oh, thank you.
It's soothing, it's relaxing. But the thing is, here's the thing. When I first met you, this was not the music that I expected to come out of you.
Oh, what were you expecting?
Something probably more punky.
Oh,
or
punk, really?
Punky, or maybe even more rock and rolly. But I certainly didn't expect beautiful classical jazz, smooth jazz sounds. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
What makes you go in that direction with your music?
Well, way back in middle school and high school, I took jazz guitar lessons, and I liked it, but it wasn't really that necessarily fun to listen to. Like, believe me, I love some amazing jazz records. But,
Right.
You know, there was like always something missing to me. I kind of liked the jam band stuff. And,
Yep.
But anyways, ever since I got that education of the jazz thing, it's like you can't really shake it off. You know, I've heard a couple other artists say like, well, I learned jazz like theory, and now it always keeps coming back up. But excuse me, the reason why I like doing the looper pedal, because some musicians are pretty unpredictable, unreliable people, you know?
Right.
So you got like a one-man band thing. But the interesting thing is, you know, I just heard this really crazy fact, and I think it might be true. So back like the early Romans and the early people of the Jewish faith, they didn't have a numeral that represented 0, right?
Okay.
So the American Indians decided to draw a circle around 0, creating, in fact, the numeral 0, which is also infinity, right?
Right.
So with this pedal, it's like the most fun you can have is trying to explore what can be creative within infinity, in a circle, and within nothing, too.
Nice. You really use it well, and you use it fully to your advantage. We've had other people. Looping has started to be almost normal. Like most solo musicians now are using a looper either minimally or extravagantly. I just had last week, I think, a young lady named Laura Clapp on, and she's got a 10-button re-recording, reharmonizing.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge looper.
Yeah.
But it's like from the company she works with. So it's awesome. But that's the thing, is that more and more people are using a looper to work with. But when you're sitting and creating music at your house, what makes you stay in that direction? Do you ever feel like going out and getting into doing some rock and roll?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like, I really appreciate like blues guitar players, and this guy I play guitar with all the time. Like he's somehow mastered like the blues sound, which is like interesting because I can't really master that sound. Like I can like try to attempt it, but like I'm not that good at it.
Right.
So like, you know, I think, you know, trying to find your voice or your niche, is that how you say it? Niche within playing, you know, it's kind of find something that I just feel comfortable with, something that evokes the most emotions out of me possible, which is like this stuff. And what's cool is that when you start off with like a very broad brush stroke, if you will, then you can just in the moment just kind of think, okay, I'm just playing a little bit here. Then let's add a little bit onto that loop so that loops around. And then you can kind of just create this whole like tonal tapestry, which for me, I mean, I don't really know how to market that. I mean, I could maybe sit in like a smoky bar with people drinking tequila, and that might fit.
That would work. I'm good with
Just be
that.
a lounge musician.
Everybody
Okay.
knows how much I love my tequila. Well, I haven't had a drink in a couple of years, but if I'm going to have a drink again, that's going to be my drink of choice. I'm going there. Sorry, but I'm going there. So we have a bag of tricks here behind us. You call yourself a luthier. Now that means something, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Tell me about this.
Okay, yeah, so I'm a certified luthier. I got trained and certified in Atlanta, Georgia, where I grew up. And that just basically means you build and repair stringed instruments. But in my case, I kind of just focus on the acoustic route.
Okay.
So what we have here is I brought some, I'm literally right in the middle of the build, which is perfect timing.
Yeah. I think
And,
it's great. I want you to show everybody what you do.
Yeah, so
It's exciting.
first things first here. This was a big block of CPO mahogany. And
Boy, that's nice wood.
oh yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, the smell is phenomenal.
It is, too. It smells great.
And we're in the middle of the carving stage. And what you do is you take this, it's called a dragon rasp. And slowly but surely over time, you keep on carving. You kind of take out as much as you can with a bandsaw and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is probably about 5 days worth of work because I kind of prefer the, carving from hand. A lot of people now,
Right.
like technology is so great. They have like CNC machines, and now like people are building guitars on programs, which I'm sure is good for some people. But for me, I really dig just the idea of like old timey, handmade
Right.
stuff.
Right.
And so we got this one with been carving that, and see, one of the most important things we ever find in lutherie is the center rule here.
Okay. What does that do?
Oh, it finds when I have that big block, right?
Uh-huh.
You need to draw a center line, and it goes up to 64ths of an
Okay.
inch. So like, really small stuff. And you live and die by the center line. I mean, I've had to create the center line on here a few times because after we got, I got my digital calipers somewhere hanging around here. I'll bring this out later. But you have all these dimensions, and it's got to be really specific, and which makes it kind of nice because, remember you talked about a book before we started shooting. I think one of the most prolific books that I read was called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
What a great book.
It's fantastic,
I read that too.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So with this stuff, I mean, I don't want to get corny here, but it kind of taught me.
Please get corny.
Oh, I'll get corny.
It's
okay.
what it's all about.
So it kind of taught about, doing things one at a time. Like you have so many different steps you have to accomplish. Like, so let's say you sit down, you're like, I need to build a guitar. And you think of it, it's like, how am I going to do this? I mean, that's like such a very complicated thing. Apparently, you got all these cuts and you got to bend sides and do all this stuff. But with this, you just focus on one little tiny piece at a time, one little tiny 64th of an inch at a time.
Nice.
And it's fantastic. And
It sounds so intricate and so, it sounds hard.
it does sound hard, and believe me, it's easier than you'd think it would be. I heard a friend of mine is a pilot, and I'm like, how complicated is that? And he said the same thing. It's like, it's easier than you'd think. You just got to do, like, little tips and tricks there. So this is the neck I'm carving right now. It's going to be an all mahogany parlor, which is going to be very interesting. And another way to create the measurements, this is a slab of beautiful Brazilian rosewood. And this is the fingerboard. And essentially, we create all these slits in here to sink in the frets, which allows you to play different notes on the tension there. And with the parlor, see, guitars, they're usually joined onto the guitar body by either the 14th fret or the 12th fret.
And that would change the tone also.
A little bit, but because this is the size of the guitar I'm making right here. It's a parlor body. It's a small body.
Yeah, right.
So we joined it at the 12th, so it kind of looks symmetrical, because if you had it hanging off at the 14th, it would look kind of wonky, wouldn't it? So what this template does, this is actually a pretty cool template. When you put it down, let me get out, I have a top here. This is a mahogany top.
Wow.
Because when you get it, you join two sides, because one, if you found a piece of mahogany that was this big, it'd be phenomenal. And But anyway, so you glue the two sides here. And what this guy does is you lay it down, you get the sound hole, and we create the rosette out of there. And then you have your bracing stuff. And this is the things that you see inside the instrument. And this template allows me to figure out exactly where the right pieces of this stuff goes. And
Now, do you carve this stuff too? Do you cut this all out on your own?
well, it's actually cheaper. This is like just really roughed out bracing material. And
Okay.
this is actually, I had some in stock left over for a dreadnought build. A dreadnought guitar is slightly bigger, and that one I was just playing is called an OM,
Okay.
the body type. So I had this left over, and I mean, it runs about $20 for the bracing for the top and back. But as you can probably surmise, that this stuff is going to be way too big for the size of the actual parlor shape.
So you'll have to cut it down.
Yeah, so you cut it down and you do this thing called scalloping. And essentially what you want to do is you have this as a reinforcement, but you want to take away as much as possible, but still making it the most structurally sound piece of bracing equipment.
Wow.
So you have a lot of what they call tone tapping, just a lot of diagrams and just really just working with a chisel, just making it all nice and happy. And with this, so I was talking a little bit about, so we have I'll put this over here for 1 second. We have like I said, the sound hole, right?
Yep.
And usually you see like really nice, intricate designs around there. Most of them are plastic. I've actually used herringbone from like fish. But this is lacewood. And it's a certain type of species that I think would kind of complement, not too crazy, but complement the all mahogany design, because it's, actually my wife had this idea and I was like, oh, that's brilliant, because usually you see, like when I was just playing the first one I ever built, you have the back and sides are usually like a rosewood or a darker wood. And for the top wood you have, nice spruce, nice, mahogany, what have you. So I chose for this one to go all wood. And the way you cut out a rosette is actually like one of my favorite parts about guitar building. Is like the weird tools you get.
Yeah.
There's so many phenomenal like weird tools, which works so well that takes out so much of the headache. I don't know if I got that guy in here, but so this is a special stand that you take with a Dremel. You ever worked with a Dremel? You know those little
Yep.
those little guys. So the Dremel screws into here, right? Mm-hmm. And the way we cut out the sound hole and make the rosette, which is like probably one of my favorite parts about building. So what you do is you find with your digital calipers, I
Right.
think I mentioned these guys before. And
Your center.
yeah, the center, yeah.
Absolutely.
These guys will only run you $35, but
This
so.
just cracked,
Oh no, it's all good. That's just how I do
It's
it.
supposed to be like that?
Yeah, because when I put it in.
Phew! I'm thinking, oh my goodness, he'll have to start all over again.
Well, because with the circle shape and with wood, because you can see I had this cut out for dreadnought, so it's like, it's a little big in there. I could use this material called purfling, which would go on the inside and the outside, but since we're using a circle, we can tighten it up, cut it a whole bunch of different ways to make it as tight as I want around there. And so we have this tool, which essentially when you have your top wood, what you do, you find the center, you put in, I think it's a 1/4 inch bit, and you have the Dremel, and what you do is it just spins right on this pivot.
Nice.
And then you have this tool to extend it out a little bit, so when you want to create, the nice, like a beautiful seamless pocket for your rosette, falls right into place, little glue, fantastic.
Now, when people get a hold of you to order a guitar,
Yeah.
can they did someone tell you they wanted this guitar that you're building right now? Is this a special one for somebody that you're building it for?
Oh, it's a very good question. I've only done builds on commission because material costs run about like $500 to $600, right?
Okay.
So, out of all the 15 guitars I built so far, I've just done it word of mouth. Like people are like, all right, this is what I want. I kind of like this shape of a neck or this kind of sound. Excuse me. So this one, luckily I was able to save up enough money. And this is going to go to a consignment in a guitar store in New London.
Okay.
So this is the first consignment one. Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, Grandma's Attic is all about local stuff and keeping
Absolutely.
our money here in the community. So
Yeah.
Spindrift is absolutely one of our favorite stores because
Oh, so cool.
it brought some of the best guitars in the world, including yours, into the New London County area, and it's keeping our money local, and it's keeping our money in New London and in our economy, and that's so important to us.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm glad this is going there.
Yeah.
Yay.
No, I'm so amazed by them, and you know they've made such good names of themselves. I think last summer, Trey Anastasio, the lead guitar player from Fish,
Yeah.
he was there to like buy an amp. You know, they
Right.
took pictures like, hey, guess who was in our store?
Right.
And
Exactly.
You know, to keep the money, kind of. I'm not like a corporation guy, like big corporations. I'm not going to say any names, you know, but it's like that stuff
They're
is
annoying.
like, yeah, annoying, and it just
They
feels,
don't help.
ugh. Yeah.
They're not helping our local economy, and if we don't save our local economy, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, if we keep our community healthy and safe,
Oh yeah.
the rest of the world is really not doing well, but if we can enhance and keep, especially an economy that's here that is so musical and gifted and talented artistically, which you know that our area is huge, and you are so gifted.
Oh my goodness.
This is amazing. I love this. So, okay, so this is going to Spindrift Guitars, and did they tell you they wanted it made out of mahogany?
No, what happened was I think one of the guys' name's Teo or something. Yeah, he's a
That's
great
him.
dude. You know, he rides the bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
He's awesome.
Oh,
And
fantastic, dude.
You know what he really likes?
What?
Punk rock.
Ooh.
I have that on good authority. I have that on really good authority that he likes punk rock.
Nice.
Me too. Okay,
But,
so he,
Yeah, so my buddy, I built a guitar, a parlor guitar for my buddy. He brought it in there. He's like, hey, look what my buddy does, you know, and trying to help me out with like the business and the promotion stuff. He's like, oh, that's cool, man. And I talked to him a few times. He's like, yeah, bring it in. You know, as long as it's, you know, the neck's not falling apart. Like they were really cool. Like, you know, we want kind of like a local builder in here. And I was like, man, that's fantastic. Like, I'm so glad you guys are down with that kind of grassroots cause. You know, it's to me, that's like the
Absolutely.
most important thing. It's like you said, supporting everybody and
keeps the money local.
Yeah.
Keeps the economy in the economy.
because I don't know about you, I could do without seeing like another mini mall. I had to go to Ohio for a funeral, and just mini mall and Ruby Tuesdays and like stuff like that. It's just like, oh, you know, there's no
Yeah.
personality or character left. So like people that have money and support like this kind of stuff like really have a good place in my heart.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. All right. So let's talk a little bit about. I'm not sure how much time what's going to happen is we're going to run out of time, and you're going to go back and play us out. But when you're working with wood,
Yeah.
wood is a living thing, and I'm really getting into knowing that character transmits itself. Do you feel like every guitar that you build absorbs some of your personality and some of your karma? Do you feel like your guitars that you build show your being or carry on your stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. The most dare I say intimate work, you know, like sanding, like just getting it down to a place where it's ready to be finished. I mean, that is a ton of sanding. You know, you're just constantly like you're feeling around, and when you get this thing cut up in the shape, you know, you pinch the corner, you're like, this is what's called tone tapping. And what you want to do, like there's so much intricate things that you got to pay attention to. And on the other side of that, when I started building guitars, my guitar playing got a lot more comfortable, and I started just, it was like a commensual relationship. Like the more work I put into building a guitar, like the more I would be able to play the guitar like better than the day I did before.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's-
understand that.
yeah.
I do. I understand that. I have a piano that was picked up on the side of the road, literally thrown out.
Really?
And my friend fixed it. It kind of looks bad on the outside, but it plays beautifully.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I believe that every time I touch her, it's a female piano, by the way. How do I know that? I just know. But every time I play her, she seems to become happier.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean the wood fibers. I mean it's constantly changing, and you have environments, and then, I mean, we don't know yet. Like if you're having a bad day and you play guitar and like everything's fine, like who knows what kind of energy that we can't really measure on a scientific scale is being perceived through that. So which is why, you know, I had a relative. He's a real successful dude, and he told me, you know, I know a lot of unhappy millionaires, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you know, as long as you find something that you want to do, and believe me, the weirdest thing, when I started doing this and getting trained and stuff,
Yeah.
I went back to clean out my room in my parents' house. I found this like for art class in 9th grade. Like I was a total bad student, just a reckless.
But you were artistic, weren't you? Weren't you artistic back then too? Didn't you have like the artsy fartsy thing in your head anyway?
I mean, I guess I did, but it never was, you know, promoted. You know,
Right,
it was
right,
just kind of
right.
like, oh, he's just doing.
He's just weird.
Yeah, he's just a weirdo, you know. But I found back in like 9th grade, and I couldn't even believe it. I forgot I did this. I created I just carved a sculpture of a guitar, and like, oh, it was the god awfulest thing. I put like Minwax stain on it, and it was like still tacky from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I still had this like weird thing in me that's like, by chance, I found this thing that makes me so happy. And it's almost become like an occupational hedonism,
Yeah.
I'd say, because now that I found something that is so like at my core that every time I do something else, I start like having anxiety and panic attacks. And like, I'm not in my wood shop, I'm not playing guitar. Like, I think I crossed over the line of hedonism in a way that is probably, you know, it's not like
It's
you know.
healthy.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy. I tell people all the time, I'm broke. I'm totally broke. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
But I'm doing what I love, and
Yeah.
I'm helping musicians.
Oof.
And as always, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Okay, so tell people where they can find you. We can't advertise for you, but tell people how to find you online or on
sure.
Facebook or
Yeah.
whatever.
Best way, you can friend me on Facebook. I'm JW, that's Wasylik, W-A-S-Y-L-I-K, and I'll friend you back, and we'll talk guitars, and I'll do anything. I'll play you a song or build you a guitar.
He's amazing. And he doesn't just do these, he does all different sizes of stringed instruments. Did we talk about ukuleles? Did we talk about that on my radio show?
Oh, I built a mandolin.
Oh,
my
the
last
mandolin,
build
that's
was a
right,
mandolin,
that's right.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Oh, fantastic.
Are they
The first
happy
one I
with
built,
it?
oh, they're so happy with it. And I lost money building it. Not really. I mean, I didn't make a profit really, but it was
Right.
just like, you know, just the experience of this guy, and he loved it. And so
Well,
he's like
so
a buddy of
other
mine.
people
and-
will know that. Other people will know that. And it's so fascinating, and it's so wonderful that you were open enough to come in to Grandma's Attic and talk about your craft. This isn't a business. This is a craft.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy that what you do is going to touch how many lives? Who knows how many lives a piece of wood,
Yeah.
a piece of mahogany will touch, you
Yeah.
know? And there's a, coming up in November, I believe it's on the 16th of November, there's a thing here in New London called Pass the Guitar. And it's one guitar and 28 musicians, and it's for the homeless.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and that guitar goes from one musician to the next musician to the next. So you guys remember that, that's at the Unitarian Church on the, I think it's the Friday the 16th, 18th, I don't know. But anyway, it's Pass the Guitar. All the money raised will go to the homeless shelter and help them through the winter. But it's one guitar, 28 musicians. It's a really, really great thing. And every time that guitar gets passed, it seems to take on another life of its own.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because of the connectivity of a living material with a
Yeah.
living being. So thank you so much for following your heart. I believe if you follow your heart, the money will follow. And someday we're going to see your name on guitars, and people are going to go, oh my goodness, he makes some of the best guitars in the world. Someday that's just going to happen because you're following your heart. Give my heart and my love to your wife. She's lovely. I'm sorry she couldn't come
thank
with
you.
you today. It was nice meeting her. And will you take us out with a song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So while he's leaving, remember, we have Pass the Guitar. That's coming up in November. I'm not sure what else is going on in the community. Check out the Hygienic Art Gallery. That's wonderful. There's the Coast Guard anniversary is here in New London. All kinds of things going on with that. On the 15th of October, Wednesday, I think it's the 15th. It's Wednesday, next Wednesday. Anyway, Wednesday, I think it's the 15th, is the autumn food stroll, the fall food stroll. WC and I will be on the corner of the Tilley and Bank Street at the fire station. Stop by and say hello to us. And as always, have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Few more minutes till we roll. If you want to keep playing, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Let's see.
People are loving hearing you. I'm telling you right now, people are totally into what you're doing, so you can do this all night.